All right, so we got our timer ready to go. We're going to start with our bodyweight circuit. We're doing our lateral 1-2 step. Let's see if I can get the volume down a little bit. All right, so we're starting at one end of our mat, and we're going to take 1-2, not allowing the feet to cross. Here we go. 1-2, bring it back. And again, let those arms swing. You can keep your elbows bent or keep your arms straight. And so you can move as fast or slow as you want. If it gets too challenging to move your entire body across as we reach these final 8 seconds, you can just stay in one place instead of doing the 1-2. You can just step back and forth. All right, so go ahead and take a break. We're going to take a small, brief break for 10 seconds. And then we're going to start again. So again, we're at one end of the mat. You take 1-2, 1-2, and then step it back. And so even on that second step, I do bring the leg back in. You could keep it out. It's up to you. I get in a better rhythm if I let that leg move in than if I do here where I keep it out or keep it out. Both are okay. You're still getting the steps across 6 seconds. And then we're going to move into our step back squats. All right. 15-second break. And again, just doing what your body can do. We are doing exercise, so we are trying to push it, but we all know the difference between pain and extra effort or having to do something. So here we're keeping our hands towards the chest. We're stepping open, just a small squat, step back. So we're helping those hips rotate. Just squat till it feels tightness or pain. Maybe for you, it's just the stepping back and working on the balance component and having this hip get stronger and working on that mobility, functional control. All right, relax, shake it out. We're going to do the opposite. So there I'm standing on my right leg, taking my left leg back. Here I'm going to stand on my left, take my right back. So we just step open, squat back. Step open, squat back. So if you saw this view, it's step open, squat, step forward, back. Good. Excellent job. Learning to respect your body and scanning for sensations without expectation and without judgment. So as you feel something, and relax, kind of thinking more about how can you learn from that, as opposed to it means something specifically, or it is something. All right, so now we're going to keep the body really stable, and we're just moving the single leg. So we're bringing that leg out and up, tap it down, bring it back up and forward. So if you see the side view, it's up, out to the side, back up and over. So this is a good balance and core exercise. You can feel your core nice and tight as you lift that leg up off the floor. And you can just bring the toes down even if you want. Okay, march it out. We're going to move to the other side, and then we're going to move to our final 3 exercises. So we're through our halfway point of round 1 after this 30-second series of these single leg hip swings, gate swings. Think about that hip once it's up as a kind of a gate, where you want this post of the gate to be nice and stable. We don't want a wobbly gate post. It makes it hard to open the gate. Also, we don't want a leaning gate post. Then that door would hit parts of the ground, and if you've ever had a door like that, you kind of have to assist and help it stay up. All right, so now we've got our down dog. So again, you can use a chair or a bench with your arms on there, and we're taking the opposite leg up, or you can move to the floor for more shoulder and chest. Really trying to push the foot that's on the floor, heel towards the floor, because it's easy to let that heel lift up high. Again, trying to get toes spreading, especially with the foot that you're on. The leg that's up in the air, it's going heel high. Try to keep that foot on the floor. heel towards the floor. Take it, break it, and then roll up through your spine. And then we're going to switch sides. But now we're standing, and then we're going to come back down to it. So we're going to come back down to it, and then you're going to keep the other leg down, lift the leg that was on the ground the first time. Can you do anything extra with your toes? Trying to spread them and push them into the floor as you continue to push your heel towards the floor with the leg that's down, the leg that's up, back of the leg and heel towards the sky. Push through your hands. And now you're going to lower yourself all the way to the floor. And then we're going to turn over on your back. We're going to do our reverse crunches. So again, if you've got that chair or stool nearby, you can place your feet up on top, arms down along your sides, and we're rolling your knees up towards your chest. Fight it on the way back down. Think about your abs as an accordion. They're squeezing, inching together, and then as they do that, your spine has to roll. It has to flex, rolling your hips and knees towards your chest. You can go up a little bit more with speed, and then fight it on the way back down for a greater ab challenge. And then relax. We'll wait 10 seconds before we join into round 2. All right, we're going to move to side lying. So again, on those crunches, it's okay to use a little momentum to get into that position. Then you just want to try to slow it down as much as you can on the return. All right, so side bridges. We're keeping this elbow and forearm closer to the hips. We're lifting your hips up and forward. You keep that top leg down. You want an additional challenge. Lift that top leg up. Pushing your hips towards the sky. We're holding this for 30. If you need to take a break, you can. Respecting what your body's communicating. Pushing the hips, waistband forward, away from the floor, and towards your monitor, or whatever direction you're facing. And then relax. We're going to switch to the other side. Nice job through round 1 today. Final 30 seconds for this first round. And then it's breaking water. Some people's favorite part of a workout program, which it should be. You earn the rest. 90% of your brain is water, 70% of your body is water. Most of us are dehydrated. Keep holding it up, pushing yourself. How does this side compare to the first? And relax. All right. Hopefully you're getting an opportunity to feel that in the glutes as well as your obliques, and obviously it's working your shoulders. So we'll go ahead and get some water. Nice job. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump into round 2. We have our lateral steps. All right, so again, we're doing our lateral steps side to side. This time I'm going to do it with more of my arms extended. And so 1, 2, and if that's too difficult, you can just go side to side. So we're going to do 30 seconds, take a 10-second break, and jump back in for a second round of 30. All right, here we go. And so paying attention to what position your arms are in. Maybe you change the arm position between each round. Perhaps you keep the same arm position from round to round or for the entire exercise session today. Just be aware of what your arms are doing. Build some awareness so we can start to be more intentional with our actions and how our body is really functioning. And relax. So like yesterday, I was having a conversation with a client. 5 seconds and we'll jump back into it. All right, here we go. Lateral steps. But this conversation was, she noticed that her shoulder was really tucked up high to her ear. All right, and so that awareness is really good because then her intention is she doesn't want those shoulders elevated. But if she's unaware of it, then she's not intentional about her behaviors, and before long, she's reinforced to her muscle system and to her biology of her body and physiology that it's appropriate for her to have that amount of tension and relax in that area of her body. And to say it's had that amount of tension for days, weeks, months at a time, it gets really hard to undo it. Your body gets trained that that's the appropriate thing. All right, so here what we're going to do is our step back squats. As I get off my soapbox there. But that's the kind of stuff that I think about all the time, and one of the things that exercise helps serve us is a way for inspecting the body, a better way of increasing our awareness so that then we can become more intentional. And so for myself, I like to tie it home to some of the nutrition stuff. Movement helps reinforce for me how painful or uncomfortable I often feel after other food choices or my consumption choices, right? Here we go, we're going to change to the other side. So I was recently at a wedding, and so I overate, ate a lot more baked goods, and I felt pretty crummy on Sunday, Monday, and even into Tuesday, right? So it takes its toll, it has an effect, and again, I noticed that, regular movements are really challenging, I didn't feel as great, so you can start to use movement to help, begin, be more intentional. So now and relax. So now I'm trying to be more intentional, and it's been really easy this week to eat cleaner, to eat my 4 vegetables a day, and I already feel better. So now we're going to keep your body stable. We're going to lift up the leg, take it out to the side, tap it down, bring it back up and over. So here, it's up and over, open it, bring it back up, get that knee and thigh into position before you do the gate swing. And again, we're trying to keep your body upright, not allowing a lot of motion to happen inside of the rest of the body. Trying to happen inside this hip and letting that knee move. March it out. We'll jump into the second side. All right, here we go. Step up. Once that knee and thigh are up, then you do the gate swing of the hip. Trying to keep your shoulders nice and square. If you want, you can bring your hips or hands to your hips or right above that little round part, the ilium. Time for about 2 more. And relax. All right, so now we have our down dog. So you can do modified where you have your hands on a chair or a bench. You can also bring your arms and hands all the way down to the floor. And here, the leg that's on the floor, we're trying to keep that heel close to the floor and the opposite heel going up towards the sky, so they're going in opposite direction the heels are. It's easy to get up on top of the ball of the foot and lift that heel. Again, you want to try to keep it down. What can you do with your toes? Are you aware of what your toes are doing? Can you get more space or push them into the floor a little bit more while also keeping that heel towards the floor? My toes get more movement, but I have to start letting that heel elevate and then relax. We're going to walk those hands back, roll up through your spine, and then we're going to walk back down and do the other leg. Again, trying to keep that heel to the floor. What are your toes doing? Pushing through those hands, pushing through your arms. Can you get those toes spread out any further? And relax. Lowering yourself all the way to the ground. We're going to lie on your back for the reverse crunches. So if you want, you can bring your legs up on that chair or bench, arms along your sides, rolling up. You can roll up fast, but slow on the return. It's okay to use a little momentum. Is your head and shoulders staying down? That head often likes to elevate, lift up off the ground. And relax. Enjoy the brief break. Becoming aware of what your breath, respiratory rate is. Okay, here we go. Second 30, rolling up. Bring those feet back down. Can you keep that head down? Especially as you lower back down. Your body starts to like to take it out of the core, so it lifts the head to give the body some counterbalance. All right, we're going to move to our final exercise of round 2. We have our side bridge plank. So you're going to lie on your side, get this elbow and forearm underneath your shoulder, closer to your hips. We're going to lift your hips up high, forward as well. You want an additional challenge, lift that top leg. Keep this top arm shoulder depressed. Again, it likes to elevate. And it learns to do that because it's always fighting gravity. But when we're in positions where it's not necessary or we can get that area to relax and depress, it's always a great thing to become aware of and ask your body to do. And relax. All right, moving to the other side. Final 30. Okay, lift up, lift that leg. Pushing those hips forward and away from the floor. Keep that top arm depressed, top shoulder away from that ear. Push through the floor, pushing away. Can you generate more force by pushing into the floor harder? Imagining that there's weight or someone pushing you back down and you're trying to fight them. Push away. You can feel everything down here is a little bit tighter, and then relax. We'll have our 60-second break, and then we'll jump into round 3. Nice job. All right, about 20 seconds to remain in our rest period. So an excellent time to scan your body, find out how sensations might feel differently than they did at the beginning. All right. Again, becoming aware of those sensations that exist in your body, and they might change from day to day. In fact, usually that's when I know I'm having a weird day, is that like the other day, I normally have stuff on my left side and my right was having some issues, and both sides were ultimately pretty weak and not very functional. So, all right, we're going to start with our lateral 1-2 step. Here we go. 30 seconds. 1, 2. So last time I had my arms straight. This time I'm going to keep my elbows bent. And so again, I'm kind of in this bent position, and I'm just 1, 2, trying to not cross over, just tap those feet together. If that gets challenging, I can just go side to side, especially as we get to this third and final round. If you've had any time off lately, it's okay to ease back into it. And take a break, 10 seconds, and then we'll jump back into our second round and final round of our lateral steps. All right, here we go. So I'm trying to keep my elbows bent because it's easy to just move the lower body and not the upper. But we want to go ahead and get that coordination down. We want to help create better core and arm strength. So really move those arms. I want to help you get better synchronicity of movement. And these are all things that as we fatigue, we lose, right? So we lose synchronicity and smoothness and control and variability of control the more fatigued or weaker we are. So the stronger we can be, the more endurance we have, the more we can learn those things. As we lose it throughout a day or throughout a week, we still have other options. All right, we're doing our step back squat, where if we start off there, then we don't have many options when our body starts to regress or has to recover more. So again, step back, just squat to wherever you feel tightness. When I step back, opening up my right side, I feel a lot more tight. I don't feel like I can go as deep, and that's okay. It is what it is, but learn to respect what your body's feeling. The more of an expert you become, the more you can decide to push it. But coming out of weeks where I've had unique sensations or time off, I'm probably not going to push it because I know there's a lot more unknowns or possibility of unknowns. Good job. So you're just stepping, squat. You know, do you feel this into your low back? We're putting a lot of force and effort into these SI joints and the hip socket, right? So now we're going to keep your body stable, and we're going to lift up one leg at a time, up and over, back up and over. So here we go. Good. This is a great one for your balance. So we're giving your glutes a lot of work today, both with the single leg standing and then also when we do that side bridge. So the glutes are really important for balance and control, walking uphill, walking upstairs. And relax, march it out. So that one that you were just standing on, that one's probably a little bit tighter. All right, now we're going to do the other side. Lift up, rotate out, tap down. Lift up, rotate back. Nice little movement here. Halfway. Final time for today. Then we move into our down dog. Again, can the rest of the body stay nice and stable? And as I do this, especially I didn't feel it as much on those first rounds, but this second and the third, I started to feel a lot more in that glute that was stabilizing. So now we're going to do our down dog. So again, you can have your hands on the chair. You want to take your head closer to your chest as opposed over towards the chair, or you can be in down this traditional down dog, keeping the heel that's with the foot on the floor, trying to keep that heel closer to the floor. Spread the toes out. My little toe likes to be in nice and tight, so I have to try to spread it out, and then I'm trying to get my second toe and big toe closer together. Push your chest through those arms. Roll back up. We're taking a break between the sides. And then we're going to walk back down. Push your head and chest towards your thigh, towards your chest, away from your hands. Getting the foot that you're standing on, trying to keep that heel close to the floor. Can you pay attention to what your toes are doing? It's a little bit more advanced to pay attention to the toes, but can you do that? Are you aware of what your toes are even doing? The heels. And lower yourself to the floor. All right, we'll move to lying on your back. We have reverse crunches. Okay. Here we are, we're lying on your back, arms along your sides. We're rolling those knees and chest up towards your head. You can use a little speed or momentum, then down slow. Trying to keep your head and shoulders on the floor the entire time. And relax. 10-second break. And then we'll jump into our final round of the reverse crunches for today's workout. Again, using momentum on the way up, control on the way down, trying to keep your head and shoulders on the floor the entire time. Take a break. 15 seconds in between the rounds. Move into our side lying hip bridge, side plank. Again, you can keep the top leg on the ground, elbow and forearm closer to your hips. You don't want it out above your shoulder. Lift that top leg. If you want an additional challenge, push those hips forward as well as away from the floor. You can really feel this underside and get nice and tight. Keep that top arm, shoulder depressed. Kind of reach past your pocket of your thigh or reach towards your knee with that top hand. Push away. It's easy. My top leg, you saw it started lowering. And relax. A lot to manage, a lot to think about, and what is otherwise a fairly simple exercise. But like a lot of exercises that are fairly simple, there's a lot of things to think about and things that could go wrong or things that you could be doing better that would make the exercise easier or things that we could do to make it harder. Again, feeling this underside. Can you feel how tight it is? Top shoulder depressed. Final 10 seconds. Nice job today. Again, you can do intervals on these side planks where you lower back down and then just jump back in. And relax. All right, we'll do that for today. Nice job. Excellent work.